Bucks, go Bucks. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Bucks, go Bucks. First and goal, gotta tough it out, get in the end zone and call a hot route. O-line to beat, right down the street, and have Humphreys run right underneath. You know it's Bucks ball, we got the hardest D. Bring the pressure to the QB, you know it's routine, we got hard grease. Welcome to Tampa with the material. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Reppin' for my team. Go Bucks, go Bucks. You know we want the ring. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Welcome to the Bay. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Tune in with Buccaneer Blade. Bucks back, we can run the toss. Mike Evans looking like Randy Moss. And Jameis making play on the defense. You can't stop Levante. On my boy McCoy, who you can't avoid. At the Raymond James, you about to feel the pain. If you a Bucks fan, make a lot of noise. If you a Bucks fan, make a lot of noise. Go Bucks.
Welcome back to Bucnblake Sports with your host, Buccaneer Blake himself. Now, let's run down our today's topics. Jameis Winston was allegedly the next Jamarcus Russell. Baseball fan, yeah. Most pressing needs by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks getting props on being the best team in the division. Contracts for Mike Evans and Jameis Winston. 49ers going after Jack Smith. Sherman traded and Peterson to the Patriots. Talk about some in baseball, Matt. You're in the Q&A at the end. We can go on it a little bit. I got a little bit of baseball knowledge now after I've been playing MLB The Show. I'll admit I learned a lot of stuff from that game. Oh, and proud by CoachTomShaw.com. Again, if you missed today's show, go to www.bucandblakesports.com. Click the donate, watch the old shows, comment on the blogs, etc., etc. NearChi.com. Yeah, let's get rolling. So let's start from the top. Sometimes a lot of writers, I give a lot of props to some people. They put their opinions out there, and they say what they feel. And they should, because a lot of people give a lot of opinionated information. Like I said before, I'll let you know when I think it's my opinion and what I know is to be true. But I knew from the beginning that Jameis Winston was not going to be the next Jamarcus Russell. For you to say something like that, I guess because he had a little bit of weight on him at Florida State, I guess maybe that was it. But Jamarcus Russell didn't win no national title. Nobody even mentioned Jamarcus Russell until he decided to declare for the draft because there was no other QBs in the draft. And he was supposed to be the next best thing since sliced bread. Oh, snap. Hey, Alan. Koki in the building. That ain't a real bet you should be watching right now. Opening day. Alright, you can try to put me to the test a little bit of baseball stuff, man. Like I said at the end, you put your questions down there and I'll see what I can answer. If you can stump me, I'll give you some props. Bet. I'm looking right at you. Bet. Alright. Don't get me sidetracked. For you to say something like that about somebody like Jamarcus Russell, the best example I could give was you the last, and Matt, you're an officer. You're the last man in and the first one out. What kind of leader is that? You're the last man in and the first one out, but you're the quarterback. You're the commander-in-chief of the team, and that's what you're saying about Jameis Winston. That was never like that at Florida State to begin with, and now all naysayers don't say nothing. He was supposed to allegedly throw some astronomical amount of picks like Vinny Testaverde when we first drafted him. He did throw a lot of picks, but he didn't have a lot of weapons either. He threw for 4,000 yards in back-to-back season, and it still falls by the wayside, I guess, because he's not the, typical quarterback that everybody wants him to be. I don't know. I tend to like controversy. I tend to like things outside of the box. That's why I told you I like point of view arguments, ways people see things. I don't get angry about it. I don't call you a racist because you say you like Trump or you say you like something different than mine. That's got to stop. It's like you have a different matter of opinion or something doesn't mean somebody is a racist either. So I told you, Matt, stuff I say can go off onto something else. like calling people just racist blatantly, and the people that say that, I'm like, I've known you. I said, I know the stuff that you do. Some of the stuff you do is borderline racist, but I'm not gonna call you out on it because, much like a lot of people in this country, they won't admit their own faults even when they know they're dead wrong. If I did it, I'll did it. If I said that, I'll take my credit for it. I may joke around and be like, oh no, I never said that. Like, yeah, I know I did. But let's go. The most pressing need. See as the draft goes on, my reality starts setting in more and more. So at first I'm like, yeah, I want a receiver. I've never been a big receiver guy. And then like, yeah, tight end. Well, I did. I carried on with an Eric Ebron course. He went to UNC. UNC's playing tonight in the national championship against Gonzaga. He'll be 20 years old, and he has a ridiculous vertical. He's a receiver, switched to tight end. David Njoku, I don't know. But as of right now, it is true. Our safety position has been lackluster. Our safety position has taken a hit by Bradley McDougald choosing to go to be a backup in Seattle, a team that he had a good game against last year in the regular season. But that is the most important position. If they feel at 19 that that's what they got to do at 19, then so be it. I just hope you decide to make the right move. Or do you plan on moving back a couple spots and grabbing more picks and getting more things that we can fill the gaps with? But safety is a big concern for this team. When you go into the offseason, you have J.J. Wilcox, who's not like a full-time starter. You pick up Chris Conte again, and you come in with Keith Tandy again. Keith Tandy had a good showing near the end of the season, but are you really ready to just hang up your hat and say, yeah, he's the guy? Keith Tandy has worked his butt off to stay on this roster, worked his butt off to play in different positions on the defense to have a job, and I commend him for that. Hard work should be commended, which is not. We tend to want to praise people who don't work, people who don't value life, people who don't want to do things better with their life. We tend to focus more on that and not pay attention to the people who work hard outside. I'll just use police for example, since my friend is on here watching. We'll use that as an example. There are times that police do a lot to help people than to hinder people. See, people they want to focus on the negative things. That's what you choose to focus on. Everybody says they don't like drama, but they want to watch it. They don't want to be a part of it, but they want to be involved with it, if that makes sense. They don't want to be a part of it, but they want to be involved with it. What's up, Jimmy? And I, like I said, a lot of good police officers and a lot of people get bad limelights, much like police. I mean, just like athletes or football players, basketball players. When you get a couple of the bad eggs in there, it tends to. People think it's a whole instead of an individual. It's an individual thing. We die as individuals. We're born as individuals, unless you're twins. But it's who you based on at the end of the day when you die. You're judged for the actions that you did, not what everybody did who's been in the path that you do. I mean, I don't know. I think people just like to brand. I think people in this country just like to brand people and stereotype you as whatever the case may be. They just want to stereotype people and put them in a category instead of putting them in their own. I don't know. Like I said, sometimes I just ramble sometimes. But yes, I think safety is the most glaring need for the team right now. Receiver picking up just Deshaun Jackson would help. But again, like I said, people make some good points. That's why I love arguments. People make some good points. If Deshaun Jackson goes down, we're right back to square one with no speed receiver if we don't get a receiver like John Ross if he's available. It's just interesting. We'll see how it plays out. Buccaneers get props on being the best team in the division. You guys should know me. My motto is one game, one play, one practice, one off season at a time. And Yes, one at a time. And I don't think, as of right now, we're the best team in the division. Just because we picked up Deshaun Jackson, I mean, you haven't gone through an offseason, you haven't gone through a preseason game, you haven't won anything to be declared anything. So these labels, like I said before, you get these labels before you even put in any work. So that's a title you have to earn, and you get that title at the end of the season when you're NFC South champs. That's when we're the best team in the division, and I really mean that, and that's what I stand by. I don't want to crown them as something that they have not yet earned themselves. So when they go out and earn that, then they earn that title. And that's how I feel about that. There's really not much else to go over about that, but that's how I feel about that. There's going to be an issue soon coming up with contract extensions with Mike Evans and James Winston. It'll be interesting to see if we extend Evans now and Winston next offseason to go ahead and get those out of the way. It's interesting when you try to do all that to suffice the players that you have on your team. You're gonna have to give up somewhere. Much like Seattle, they decided to pay all their defensive players, but their offensive line suffered. They paid Wilson, which was well deserving. And he's made chicken out of chicken crap. No, he made what's the saying? Chicken salad out of chicken. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, he's done that quite often. No run game, no support from Marshawn Lynch. Adequate receivers. I wouldn't say star receivers, but they're adequate. They do their job, and when they need to be, they need to do it. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes with re-signing guys. They signed Gerald to a big deal, $100 million deal. Levante got a decent deal. Quan will be up. Vernon Hargraves will be in a couple of years. So we'll see how it goes, man. It's interesting how contracts and all that stuff goes down the line, and the dedication of players and how bad do they want to be there, sacrifices that you make. It's different than when you're playing college or high school level. Now you're talking about money and loyalty of the teams versus the players' productivity level. How do you benefit here? It's the same thing in baseball, man. It's the same thing. Except baseball is no cap, and you can have a bunch of huge contracts on the team, much like the Yankees, where their cap is limitless. You let all these other small teams build up players from minor leagues in the draft, and then when it's time to come when they're studs, Yankees just come in there and they take them after their 7-year, after their arbitration period, and snatch them up where they can be free agent. They snatch them up and then they walk on to their team. Well, they get paid to go to their team, and the Yankees are, the best team in the league. So I never really respected the Yankees, because you can just outbuy any player on any team at any time, because your cash flow is much better than somebody else, besides like the Red Sox. But even the Yankees are one of the most wealthiest teams in MLB, so it's hard to compete with that, and that's why I never really respected them. So when people go, oh yeah, well, you're from New York, that's your team. Well, we won this many pens. Yeah, I would hope so. You have all the best players in the league on your team. I mean, okay. And then once in a while you do get homegrown players, but not that many. See, I told you something about baseball, man. But yeah, it'll be interesting with the contracts when that comes up. 49ers. I grew up. I told you I grew up a Niner fan. I grew up on the West Coast. I was born in Anchorage, Alaska. I got to watch Montana and Steve Young and all that. So I do have some roots there in San Francisco 49ers, rooting for them. But I am a Buccaneer, and I will always be a Buccaneer. They tried to pick up Jock Smith. Jock Smith would be a good addition to the team, but I think Jock Smith has a home here. Injuries have hurt him last year when we were kind of have a nice defensive line, and Cubs dynasty in the making. Homegrown players not bought, and I respect that. Homegrown players not bought, man. Where was that? Oh, Jock Smith. John Lynch is there, so I'm gonna be paying attention to him. I'm gonna be rooting for him, except for when they play against us. That John Lynch is the GM. John, if you're watching this, congratulations to you. I know you have strong ties here in the Tampa Bay area. I know people who babysitted your kids, and I appreciate everything that you've done in the community here and in your years of playing. Like I said, when people do good things here, it tends to fly under the radar. Nobody cares but the people who are involved with it. And I try to give a positive out. I try to give positivity more often now, because I told you guys, I think it was in the last video or the video before that, people are more comfortable saying something negative to you than to say something positive to you. I want to almost have a journal in my hand, and I want to go through my whole day. It's gonna say it's gonna say negative and positive, NEGPOS. And I want to make a jot. I want to jot down how many times somebody says something negative versus just one day, or do a whole week. Tell me, email me, send something on there and tell me what your week was like. Tell me what your day was like. How many times somebody said something negative versus something positive. So that's why I said before, people tend to want to say something. They feel more comfortable saying something that's negative versus saying something that's positive. And you know people like that. Maybe people like that in your life. Maybe people are that you affiliate yourself with. And I think this is why some people are just so mean, nasty, and negative sometimes. And myself, I've cut a lot of people off, and I just don't want to deal with it. I just sit here and listen to you whine and complain and whatever it is. Ugh. Anyway, let's keep on moving. Sherman being traded. Shit, I would like to see him here in Tampa Bay. Too much money though. I told you before in previous videos, I've been a Sherman fan. They talking about possible Patriots, Raiders, Cowboys. Cowboys definitely been trying to fix their secondary. That's something they've been trying to do. Raiders, they've been trying to in win now mode. Get the money, get the wins while the wins they can. And the Patriots, well, the Patriots are the Patriots. They find a way. They picked up Brandon Browner when in his old age, so Sherman's not that old yet, but they could still get him and get good value at him with picking up from the Buffalo Bills. Having a brain fart right now. Cornerback from the Buffalo Bills. It'll come to me when I'm not thinking about it. That'll be a nice little tandem, because now they're trying to move Malcolm Butler, a homegrown player, undrafted. So we'll see how it goes. Peterson. The Patriots do that. They like old running backs. I guess because they can get them at a value, but this is different than a Corey Dillon. You're talking about Adrian Peterson now. Oh, Adrian Peterson went to visit the Patriots. He left today, thank God, with no contract. Ugh, I was just like, yeah. We played the Patriots this year at home. Stephon Gilmore. I told you, I remember when I ain't thinking about it. Peterson playing for the Patriots, breaking my heart again. Playing for them, just like Dak Prescott, breaking my heart. Him playing for the Cowboys. Y'all know my strong distaste for Jerry Jones and his Cowboys. Yeah, he left today with no contract. I've been watching a lot of Peterson and Winston's videos. They jump the hurdles and then go under a hurdle. I saw Peterson go under one and run, and Winston got stuck on the hurdle on the back of his neck. And then Winston had his little video of his, little passing targets in his backyard. I still believe that picking up Jameis Winston. Oh, Armando, what's happening? I still think, picking up Jameis Winston is a real big deal about changing the franchise, changing the culture of this team. I think that was the strong point with Mariota and Jameis Winston. Mariota isn't a vocal player. Mariota is not going to change the franchise by what he says. He's a guy that's a doer, not a sayer and a doer. And though I think he's much talented, though I did think at a point where I wanted him here, I guess I just like mobility at the quarterback position. It changes the complex of a game, a complex of a defensive scheme. But Jameis Winston was the right choice. Jameis Winston was the right pick. Lovie Smith made the right choice. And like I said, you guys are getting a chance to watch the transformation of the team, of the franchise, with bringing in a quarterback like that. And it's going to be it's going to be a fun ride. Everybody should enjoy it, including yourself, myself, and every Buck fan that sat around for a long time waiting for a franchise quarterback to come. Much like the Raiders. The Raiders too. You got a franchise quarterback, getting the right pieces, the right things that are going, and you get to see your program build. So enjoy the moments while you have them. Now, Matt, if you have some questions about baseball, you can shoot them. Now, I can see your post because I am streaming live on the television. That's why I keep looking to the left, because I can't see what you're typing from my camera straight ahead, but I can see it to my left on the screen. So by all means, you can add stuff on there if you like. You said Cubs dynasty in the making. Absolutely. The Rays. I said this before. Absolutely, the Rays let manager Joe Madden go over there to the Cubs, and lo and behold, look what happens. He won a national. Won a championship over there. Crazy how things work like that, right? I still support the Rays, but they have to live with the decision that they made. Heartbreaking. Lightning struggling to make a playoff appearance. Things are swirling here in this Tampa Bay area, but decision makings and all that you gotta live with them. You gotta do what you gotta do to keep your franchise afloat, keep being competitive. Where we at? I've gone through my notes. Let me see. The media. Oh, okay. You said Matt. You said the media. They need people to watch their broadcasts and buy their newspapers. Yes, you're right, man. That is true. I said they have to put out what they think the people want to see, what the people gravitate towards. And whether it's true, whether it's a lie, it does not matter to them. The media, there's no law for the media to be held accountable for the information that they put out. I blame the media on sometimes when people are murdered, and people are killed, people are mugged, people are beat up, or whatever. I blame them sometimes, because that's the information that you want to poison the American people's minds with. You don't even care if the information is valid. As long as it has some type of strong point to it, you'll put it out there. And you're getting people hurt. You're getting people to believe things that they shouldn't believe, and it's sickening sometimes, because nobody wants to wake up and realize. They just want to sit there and watch the television and believe anything it says. Not even looking it up yourself. Just literally just believing anything that the television tells you. It's on the screen and somebody's saying it. It must be true. Well, you got a smartphone, you got a computer. Why don't you try looking up the article yourself? Because there's a lot of information is there, and you'll find out a lot of it's not always true. They put out half of the story. They cut half of the video. They put what they think you want to see, what they want to train you to believe. And that's like I told you before, I tend to turn people off because I don't believe in some things that you might think that's conventional, things that you think is normal, things that you think, this is the way it is. No, it's not. Not in my mind, as I choose to believe something else. Let me scroll up. We're still spreading the word that they live. Oh, sorry. And that's just how I feel about it. Okay, well, I've rambled on long enough. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Again, if you missed the show today, go to www.bucnblakesports.com and we'll talk more. Like I said, it's the off-season time. It's just a bunch of repetitive mock draft. I think I'm gonna update my webpage and change my picks. I told you to change it a little bit. But anyways, we'll end this video as we always do. You're the master of everything what you do with your life. What you do with it is entirely up to you. Thank you to all my supporters, Joker Shadow, Robo Boy, Nuke Boy, and Perval Productions, Jeffrey Bowen, everybody involved. Y'all be safe and God bless. And let's check out this national championship game. There's my peeps here going kind of nuts in here. All right, guys, you gotta take it easy.
And we still East Coast. Yeah. Whoa. You already know it's going to this Nuke boy scaring niggas like a Ouija board. Seeing is believing, honestly, I can't see you boys. Best to debate, I roll up and blow my verses away. They wanna know how I do it, they've been lurking for days. Still haven't figured a nigga out. Smoking out on the couch with real niggas, man, I feel like a scout. Cause all I do is trap bitches, train them up for you niggas. They come back every day and say they done with you niggas. I talk a lot of shit, but mean it in the best way. I don't fuck with you niggas, I read you like an x-ray. I can see a lot of bitch in you from your display. Watch the nuke drop from above versus DK. The body like Miley Cyrus, no body's a zombie virus. Mind you, I'm just a pirate, smoking get high like pilots. Man, a couple grand, I bury them in the sand. Son of Saddam, I'm bombing on niggas like it's Iran. Swoosh, yeah. I feel like Nike gave me a deal. I'm on the road, just cruising like 4 wheels. I'm a flywheel made of indestructible steel. My power can't be controlled. I'm undertaking your soul. My chokehold sick like catching a cold. Got that medication, good weed, will redefine gravitation. OG, I take off with no hesitation. I'm stacking up while you hating. And most of women love me like fornication. I feel I'm real. I was on 22nd and late with the steel and some more. Saw the cops had to go. 40 seconds later, niggas rolled. I said, you know, snub nose to my dome. I was sweating the cold. Damn. I lost all my shit. My girl said, get a grip. I lost all my grip. No hook, nigga, look, if you leave your shit, I'ma take what you left, my 16s or this. It don't take much just to get your chick to strip, but that's another story. Had her on them blues, now I call her Dory. I'm on the corner with a 40 in a new category, it's new. Blow up the city and rebuild it. TV fitted, you know I killed it. Saw the house, the shit just got real and we just filmed it.